What's up, everybody? We want to welcome you to the Kush Den. I'm your host, Ed Honcho, and I ain't got my shit there that I usually have down there, but the real Ed Honcho at Instagram and Twitter. You can check your boy out. This is my co-host, Mr. Shaq Kush. As you can see, his social media info right there upon the picture. Mr. Kush, you got anything you want to say to the people in the den?
Yeah, I shoot free throws all day and I make them.
He shoots free throws all day and he makes them. So today in the den, as you can see in the back, I got some little AOE. It's old school shit going on. Some of y'all youngsters might not know about this, maybe before y'all's time. But this little old school. Today we're gonna talk about, since we're talking about you youngsters and things before your time, we're gonna talk about the difficulty we used to have to go through to enjoy video games. Now, if you don't know, if you're not familiar, the Kush Den, Ed Honcho, Shaq Kush, you fucking with us. It's a 420 friendly situation. So if you ain't pre-roll, you out of control. If you ain't stuffed the bowl,
out of motherfucking control.
You already know. Get your shit together. Anyway, on that note, let me spark up this, and then we gonna get on the topic. So, oh no, that's awful. That's a bad thing that just happened. Oh no.
Oh, what happened?
Anyway, that's a bad thing that happened. We ain't gonna let it stop the show. We ain't gonna one monkey don't stop no show. But so what we're gonna talk about is the difficulty we used to have to go through to enjoy video games. Let's go back to the very beginning, Mr. Kush. Let's talk about Nintendo. What are and if you ever played Nintendo, which everybody has, I know you remember some of the more notable incidents and things that you would have to do to be able to enjoy a Nintendo game.
Man, one of the things that they really just don't understand is, I would have started off with this damn cord.
Oh man, cord.
Not needless to say that they were super longer than what they are now, but that damn cord alone, man, you had to make adjustments for that shit.
Man, corded game. Yeah, there were no wireless options back then. There were no
at all.
Man, and then I know, man, my thing with the Nintendo was when the games weren't cooperating.
Yeah, the blow in them.
You had to put in work. You had to blow in them motherfuckers. Sometimes you had to put a quarter inside the system to get that bitch to hold it down if the fucking little spring wasn't acting right.
Man, remember when you had to put another game on top of the game to get it to play? Oh, man.
Like all kind of motherfuckers be coming up with all kind of shit to get them fucking games to work. And that shit used to be, like I say, like kids nowadays, they don't understand, the work. I mean, you had to work to play back then. It wasn't just like you just, let me go download the latest game. Let me go get this and get that. Yeah, you can't do that nowadays. Those days you couldn't do that. These days you can do anything. Now you wait 10 seconds, people get impatient because of a little bit of online lag. Man, now you got these services like GameFly and all that shit. Man, back then,
ain't no such thing as GameFly back in the day.
Hell no, wasn't
our GameFly was taking your ass to the damn video store.
Yeah, Hollywood, Blockbuster, the little mom and pop shops. You know what I'm saying? And shit, it'd be like, I used to remember like if I had a fee at Hollywood, then I'd go to Blockbuster, or if I had a fee at Blockbuster, I'd go to Hollywood. But Hollywood was cool because they'd let you like still rent shit even if you had like late fees. So I used to fuck with them super heavy. Like,
but could you imagine what it'd be like to rent a game nowadays? Credit check.
Oh man,
history check. Your mama, they want to know all your background information.
You gotta have a fucking social security just to fucking rent shit nowadays. But like I say, back then shit used to be cool because like I say, it used to be a point like I used to be getting games. I was underage and shit. Hop on my bike, go ride to the fucking video store. My name was on my mom's account or whatever, so go rent some shit.
Hell yeah.
But nowadays, like I say, kids, you don't got shit. I wish you would see a kid go actually make effort to go play a video game to fucking like, man, hell no. These motherfuckers now, if you can't download the shit, motherfuckers don't want that shit. Like even, I remember when like, 360s and shit were first coming out. And that's way advanced, It wasn't just all this go download the game instantly off the internet and shit. You still had to go out and wait in line, go buy that bitch. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't all this all this instantaneous stuff like it is now. And I'm not complaining about the shit. It's cool because it's much more convenient. But I don't think people today, the mind frames that they have, they wouldn't be gamers today if they had to still put in the work like we did then. Now, you can just pull some shit up on your phone or whatever, instantly push a couple of buttons. Like, man, I'm just thinking about all the craziness fucking Super Nintendo shit.
You gotta think that like everything you did. Remember playing track and field and stuff? Remember we had to get the battery on the controller to make the dude run faster? Man, they don't know nothing about those
fucking getting out on the hands and knees and fucking be pumping that shit out, making it look like you going way faster than you really was. But that shit, that's what I'm saying. Like, motherfuckers used to have to really put in work, you know what I'm saying, to have fun. Like, motherfuckers, have to set shit up, get shit in order. But nowadays, you just, you log on, hit your boy on the cell phone, hey, get on. And I'm not complaining because, I mean, convenience is king. But just, dog, I can only remember. I can remember.
Yeah, not even just regular gaming. Even internet gaming back then used to be hard with the dial-up.
Oh my god! Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, come on, man. We went through some struggle. Like I said, I enjoyed it though.
Yeah, I mean
nowadays it's so easy to hit somebody up, give them their game tag, and then boom, it's good to go.
Yeah, now back then you used to have to find a fucking line, hope your shit connect, and don't hope nobody picks the phone up.
Oh,
and fuck all your shit up. I mean, not just gaming, just the internet as a whole. From then, you remember fucking AOL? You've got mail. I remember being like late at night trying to sneak on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we stayed in the apartment, and so the fucking computer was in the living room. You know what I'm saying? And so of course you could hear it. And motherfucking be trying to sneak on that bitch late at night, getting on the fucking internet, hoping don't nobody hear you. Wake up, come talk shit to your ass. Just really like that was the best time to use though, because everybody be asleep, so you wouldn't have to worry about fucking getting kicked off your shit. But dog, like I say, nowadays, like now you go somewhere, let your wireless signal be a little bit funky. You mad than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like it's much different now. Things are way easier. And I mean, I'm not complaining. Of course, it's supposed to be like that as technology improves. Shit should get easier. But shit is way easier now than it was back then. And I think people should take the time out to appreciate that kind of shit.
Man, they got to appreciate it because, man, like I say, the struggles was real. There was no HDMI cord. There was none of that shit took place, bro.
You had to plug in. Yeah, just to hook the video in, you had to plug in at least 2 to 3 fucking little things, the red, yellow, and white. And then, man, like I say, now with you being able to download games and all that shit, imagine when motherfuckers, when the PlayStation first came out, motherfuckers was first fucking with that shit. You get a little scratch on that bitch, that shit was over with, dog. It was done. It wasn't no re-download, none of that shit like that. You get a scratch on the fucking PS, it was done. The Nintendo 64 controllers, if you work the middle too much, the motherfucker will fall all the way off, dog. You know what I'm saying? That bitch be just sitting crooked like old broke dick and shit. That shit be fucked up.
They so crunk about they Call of Duty. They don't know about those struggles to play GoldenEye.
Man, hey. Bruh. Dog, let me motherfuckers don't know about expansion packs, dog. Motherfuckers don't know about that N64 Rumble pack, dog. They don't know about that shit. They think controllers always been this way. We lived through the upgrade of the controller when the controller had no feedback. There was no controller love. It was just shit. You played the game and was happy about it. You know what I'm saying? Now
remember when the Dreamcast came out? You could put a little memory card and save it and take it to your friend's house.
Yeah,
we thought we was the shit when that came out.
That's what I'm saying. Like motherfucker couldn't tell you nothing, dog. You know what I'm saying? But how things change, you know? Like we thought that shit was top notch fucking technology back then. It was like no way it's gonna ever get better than this shit and shit. Well, we motherfucking surprised. That shit there was fucking crazy.
I didn't think it was gonna be this day. I look at it now and I just be like, man, just imagine what's gonna happen when my daughter gets older.
Man, like I mean, the shit that's happening now with virtual reality and all the things that virtual reality shit has come a long way in a short period of time. You know, what used to be kind of fake virtual reality, just some kind of bullshit. Now is it's a thing now. I mean, the shit is actually really dope. But it's super crazy. You remember what came out when we were young? It didn't make it. Some of those failed systems. The Atari Jaguar.
Oh yeah,
and wasn't that the one that had like all the fucking buttons and shit?
Yeah, remember what was that? The Sega TV.
Yeah, they were like trying to be some of the first to like let you stream shit. They were like trying to make it to where you could stream the shit to like play Sega games online. Like it was some shit like that, something like that. And I guess that shit was kind of cool for its time. I mean, I don't think it really ever took off. It didn't last very long, did it?
I don't think so. What was the other one? Was it Sega TV? What was it called?
It was like the Sega Channel or something like that.
There you go. I think it was Sega Channel. That was like the first like where you could almost get games from the internet type thing.
Yeah.
Deal.
Yeah, that's where it started. And then, but then people build upon those ideas. I guess, it takes, of course, the internet getting better and stronger and, having the infrastructure to do shit. But, goddamn. But, yeah, so I'm just trying to think of some little nuances, dog. Like, remember fucking Game Boys and Game Gears running out of fucking batteries, dog? Like, Boy. Oh, man, my God.
The struggle of the Game Boy when you didn't have good lighting.
Oh, man. Yeah, that shit was the worst. That's what I'm saying. Like, these kids, now you got fucking buttons to adjust your brightness and shit. We ain't had that shit. We came from the old school. We came up hard, you youngsters. You 90s and 2000 babies don't know nothing about it.
Like I say, man, it was some struggles, but man, boy, was it worth it. Because, well, hey, be honest now, you knew when somebody got either rented a new game, or they just got a new game because everybody's bike was outside their house.
What? Hey, so while we just going throwback game, we talking about grouping up at the house. The house. What game? Top 3 games that brought the people over. One we mentioned already. That like let's go N64 because that's when that 4-controller shit came out, and that's when group gaming really started elevating. The PC gamers were always doing their thing. Like PC gaming don't quite count. PC gaming has changed a lot too, but still, like I say, but when we come to this, we talk about group gaming. Of course, number 1 is GoldenEye, so there's no point even like bullshitting about that. But what other games brought motherfuckers over, dog? I got one in mind. I'm gonna see if you thinking what I'm thinking. We talking Nintendo 64 because that was the game changer.
Blitz
was live, but I think I got one better than Blitz. I think the WCW series of wrestling.
Oh, motherfucking G.
The fucking
WCW versus NWO World Tour.
Dog, those games right there, dog, had a packed house. You had everybody waiting in line to get on the stick. Dog, that shit right there. If you ain't had
hearing that just brought back memories. I just saw myself as a kid going to my homie's house to go play. Like I remember them calling me to play this one dude because they said he was better than me, and I was like, nah. And I remember we had a squad behind me going to go play the dude because they said he was one of the best players at it, and everybody from my hood knew I was one of the best players at it. I remember that game. I had Glacier. And he had, I think it was Scott Steiner. I forgot one of them dudes. Man, we went at that game for like a good solid hour. My fingers hurting, thumbs hurting. I finally hit him with that special click that Glacier used to do. Yeah. It knocked his ass out and won that. Boy,
man. Hey, I know you used to remember the little battles on the ground, dog. Like when you're on the ground trying to get up and shit, wiggling the fuck out that goddamn stick.
My fingers was hurting, trying to get to the ropes to get up and dog,
that game right there by itself broke so many Nintendo controllers, dog. Got so many lopsided 64 sticks out there because of that game and that game alone. That motherfucking shit had motherfuckers just really, I'm talking about shit. Don't let it be after school. You're going to be in there till it's time for your ass to go to the house. Motherfuckers used to go hard on that shit.
That's you ain't gonna lie though. Between that and Call of Duty, I'm sorry, GoldenEye, the original Call of Duty,
the original. That shit, GoldenEye.
Remember the slaps? Remember that matchup? The slaps.
Dog, that used to be, man. Look, one hit kill, slappers only was my favorite way to play, dog. And fucking just talk shit, bitch, pow. just like talking straight shit on that motherfucking GoldenEye, dog. That shit, dog, I don't care what they do these days. You can't. The GoldenEye was just so original. I think they tried to remake it, but I don't know if it was as good.
Man, another one, I'm going to say this one, but I know they just made a remake of it, and we got to get it so we can play online to show our people. That NBA Jam.
Oh, they remade the Jam? NBA Jam.
Yeah, there's a new one called, it's like NBA Playground or something like that.
Okay, and remember, but NBA Jam was okay on it. What went hard for 64 was NBA Hang Time. Was it Hang Time? Or Showtime.
I'm trying to think of that the other day. Hang Time, I think, or Showtime. One
of
those.
Showtime or NBA Hang Time. It was one of those, man. And that bitch went hard because you could create the dude, put the little crazy heads on them already, and all that other shit. That hoe used to go hard.
That's the one that came out for the 60. We were talking about that the other day when I was playing that playground at one of my homeboys' house. And I'm trying to say, what was the one that came out for the 64? Cause see, you know, back then, you know, we used to be Crips and Blood over gaming system. You know, me personally, I wasn't for the PlayStation.
Yeah, you was either Super Nintendo or Sega. You was 64 or you was PlayStation. Man, I remember that shit. I remember niggas damn near getting in fights in class over that type of shit, dog. Like, niggas used to be for real about that motherfucker.
It took me like when the GameCube came out, that was when I switched over to like the Dreamcast era for a while.
Yeah.
And then after Dreamcast, you know, I went PlayStation 2. I didn't really have a PlayStation 1. I had a PlayStation 2. I got my PlayStation 1 towards the end. I think the only thing I really played was like Soul Calibur and what's that shit called? Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto was live. Yeah, but so yeah, I'd put those up. I'm trying to think. I want to say there's another game. I just can't think of it right now. I go with Showtime. I spent a lot of time fucking with that NBA Showtime and shit. I spent a gang of time fucking with that GoldenEye, dog. It just you can't. I mean, I don't.
GoldenEye was legit. I don't know, but in my neighborhood, we played the shit out of Blitz. Blitz was one of our games.
We played Blitz heavy.
That was when we first learned how we could play like one system on two screens. We still used to put the paper to block the other person's screen where you couldn't see it, but we still had it set up good to where you can play on your own screen.
Yeah.
What is another game though, man? Y'all leave some comments if y'all remember this.
Exactly. You got to drop some comments, because I mean, I know we forgetting some shit, and then I'm over here fucking around with this shit over here, starting to get distracted and shit. But man, like. 64 was shit like
fighting games that came out. You know, you had your Street Fighter.
Yeah, you had your Street Fighters.
You had your Combat.
Man, hold on. Let me. There was something super live for 64, and I'm trying to remember because, like I said, I was a 64 guy myself over PlayStation. I was an Xbox over what was that, PS2. Then around when I got a 360, then that's when I started fucking with like PlayStation shit. I got a PS3. And I was fucking with the like those Uncharted games. See, like, but I'd fuck with them. I'd fuck with them adventure games. You know what I'm saying? Like mostly sports games when it came to like some group shit. But then I ain't really playing like none of the new generation. I really ain't been gaming like that. Like the new generation systems I haven't fucked with. So that's why I'm talking a bunch of shit about the old school.
I still fuck on Super Nintendo. I was a big Final Fantasy 3. Was one of my favorite games.
Now that's what I used to like about the fucking Super Nintendo and shit because they used to have some good RPGs on fucking Super Nintendo.
Final Fantasy 3 was my favorite. I have that game somewhere, and if I find it, I'll probably sit down and play it until I beat it.
Yeah.
If I find it, I know I got that game. I want that game back. That was one of my favorite games. See, that's the games like that, back we have sound too much of the games, so you was forced to learn how to play those games. You had to read, you couldn't play the game.
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't be stupid playing the fucking game. You're going to miss out on that shit. Now the motherfucker talk to you, tell you everything to do, give you all kind of hints. You used to have to figure shit out. Now motherfucking me, hell no. You ain't got to think for yourself at all now, shit. Games damn near play theyself nowadays.
I would bring back, it's a classic because it's always a great classic. But something you used to do, I know you ever had you and your homeboy, you and one of your family members playing, I'll say it's Mario 3. Remember when you try to skip on the person, you click the button before you go play them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah. I used to do that shit all the time. I used to do that shit.
Come on, man. It's my turn, man.
That shit used to make niggas mad. I used to do that shit all the fucking time. Hell yeah, that shit was fucking cool and shit. I forgot about this.
Trying to steal their stars and shit like that. Oh man, that was
fuck, I forgot about that shit. That shit was funny as fuck. What was another shit, some other shit you could do to fuck motherfucker? Like, man, Sonic and Tails. I used to go hard. Back in the day, me and my sister used to go hard on fucking Sonic 2. Fucking, I used to always have to be Tails because I was younger and shit. But the little split screen shit. Yeah. But I like Tails anyway. So shit, fuck Sonic. That nigga was tripping. That nigga ain't had one tail. That nigga Tails had two of them hoes. So I thought that I used to run with that nigga Tails, dog. When that used to be the shit. Used to be a lot of good shit. The split screen Mario Kart for Super Nintendo was like Mario Kart 64. Hey,
gathering game right there.
Mario Kart 64. The Mario Kart for 64, dog. That was a Mario Kart itself was a gathering game, but the one for 64, dog, definitely spent buku hours on that shit. That fucking red turtle shell, that fucking blue turtle shell.
Oh man,
dog. Man, yeah, that shit used to make motherfuckers mad. You be on one of them whole ass like Rainbow Roads or something like that, or one of them ghost ones where your ass can fall off the side real easy. Motherfucker, you been in that corner, motherfucker hit your ass with that shell. Be some old
man, I kind of just want to go back to the 90s for a couple of days, man. Just chill out the 90s for a couple of days.
I don't know about that. That shit sound good. But you gotta remember.
I'll do it for about a week. Would you go back to the 90s for a week?
We'll go back to the 90s for a week?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know about that. A bunch of fucked up shit happened in the 90s.
And I'll do a week, man, just so I can get on some. Man, remember going to the remember Power Play?
Man, the arcade was dope. In the arcade, I was never really good at any games. The only game I went hard on in the arcade was Tekken 3.
Man, I used to go hard on that Mario. Mortal Kombat 3.
Mortal Kombat 3.
Mortal Kombat arcade came out. Man, I used to be on that game. We used to gamble for dollars back then on that game.
Yeah, that fucking Tekken. Tekken was like the only game where I was in the arcade and like held a streak. Actually had like got a little crowd going and shit. Like I thought I was the shit. And then fucked around, got like a headache or some shit, and fucking lost it. Got my ass kicked. I ain't gonna blame the headache for it. But
what was another game? Cruising USA. That was another great arcade game.
USA was a great game.
I don't even do arcades even exist anymore. Like there's no such thing as an arcade. Like,
I mean, I've seen places that have arcade games like the little gun game, but now they got more of that shit like where you got to fucking you got to actually hold the shit, the gun games, the little golf games. Shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I see when I go to arcade now. It's more like the motorcycle car games or something where you're trying to play to get tickets, like some type of gambling type shit.
Yeah, absolutely, like some shit like that. But I don't know. That shit there is wild. So,
Area 51, that's a classic arcade
Area
game.
51, I spent a lot of fucking money fucking with that goddamn Area 51. Hell yeah. Area 51 was a good one. Street Fighters, of course. The old school, I'm talking about. I remember used to be in the barbershop. Street Fighter was in the barbershop, be on that hoe waiting to get cut up, playing the old Street Fighter with the two dudes was in the front. He just hit him with that one punch and dropped him, and that fucking shit rise up. That shit used to be.
Man, just thinking about that today, it was bringing back so many memories. I remember back when you had to bring your system to your homeboy house, everything, the cords and all.
What? Yeah,
it ain't like how you have everything wrapped up, you just unwrap everything, plug, boom, we good to go.
Pretty much, dog. Like motherfucking. Take the books out the backpack or whatever it may be, throw the system in that home, and head down the street. But man, I think that was before we go too much further down memory lane, man. That shit is old school gaming. Old school gaming was the shit. Now I can't knock the new shit. The new shit is fun as fuck. So we'll get on that one day.
Yeah, I'll never go back to Madden 95 compared to Madden 2018.
Man. Well, yeah, that's a whole nother category. But I mean, it was super cool. I mean, just to take a little trip down memory lane and just remember some of those things. Maybe hip some of the youngsters who may be in the Kush Den 18 and up. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't condone underage partaking, all that good shit. But But
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So before we get about the den, before we step about the den, you know what I'm saying. You got anything you want to say to the people, Mr. Kush?
Disclaimer: I can't remember the game, so if any of y'all remember, please put it in the comments. I just want to say, man, when I first got my Nintendo 64, it was on a Christmas. I remember that was the only thing I wanted that year. Only thing I had wanted. Looked on the Christmas tree the night before. I knew there was nothing big enough to be a present until 64. So I was pissed. I went to sleep pissed. Woke up the next morning, saw a little present. I thought it was like a little book or something. Opened it up. It was a game for the Nintendo 64. Man, I was so crunk that year. I was so crunk. I can't remember the name of the game, but it was like you had a jet ski. Y'all remember the name of that game? It was a jet ski game.
Was it Wave Runner?
I don't think so.
Wave.
It would have hit me.
It's Wave.
What it was called?
It's Wave something 64. I remember.
Now the first game that I got when I got my Nintendo. Y'all remember the name of the game? Put in the comments below.
Yeah, you got to drop that. I remember that bitch. You remember doing little flips on that hoe?
Yeah, what was the name of that game? It was a nice game. Like, man, look at the water. Look how realistic the water
You thought, like, back then, you thought the graphics could not get any better, dog. Oh, boy, were we wrong. Man, y'all remember that shit? Wave Race, Wave Runner, man, fuck it. Hey, if y'all know what it is, you know what I'm saying? You know, we too lazy to fucking Google. We in the Kush Den. We tripping. You know, we got smartphones, but we being dumbasses about it. Fuck it. So if y'all know what it is, drop it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? We finna get about the Kush Den, man. If y'all know what that is, man, now because it's gonna bother me, and I'm not gonna look it up though. I'm gonna see if we got anybody in the Kush Den who knows what's up. But like I say, you can catch me at the Real Ed Honcho, Instagram, Twitter, same thing. Like you say, Mr. Kush over here on the Twitter at Shaq_Kush32, and on the Instagram at Shaq.Kush. You know what I'm saying? And this is the Kush Den. I'm your boy Ed Honcho. That is Mr. Shaq Kush.
Shaq Kush. Look out.
Shaq Tush TV coming soon, so stay tuned. Like I say, this is the Kush Den. And remember, the Kush Den is your smoke session. You should never smoke alone. You should never have to smoke alone. Because that's why, you know, just come in the den. Just come in the den. You never have to smoke by yourself.
And it's fucking boring. Get high by yourself.
No, don't get high by yourself. No, don't get lit by yourself, okay? Just step into the den. And let's chop it up in the den. So anyway, like I say, deuce up. I'm Ed Honcho. That's Shaq Kush. We up out of here.